Notice your shoulders rounding forward after a long drive. Don't force them back, try this instead. Picture yourself getting out of the car after a long journey. You stand up, roll your shoulders, and immediately notice how stiff your upper body feels. Instead of ignoring that feeling or forcing your shoulders backward, take a moment to gently open your chest and move your shoulders. Point 1. If you're worried that your shoulders are becoming more rounded with age, don't assume that age alone is responsible. Many different factors can influence posture and shoulder position. Your activity level, muscle strength, flexibility, daily sitting habits, and previous injuries can all play a role. That's why a simple stretch should be viewed as one part of your routine, not a guaranteed cure. It can help you work on flexibility, but strengthening and regular physical activity may also be important, depending on your individual needs. Point 2. So, when you step out of the car and notice your shoulders feeling rounded, don't think of that moment as proof that something has gone wrong. Think of it as a reminder. You've been sitting, your body has been relatively still. Now it's time to move again. Walk around, let your shoulders relax, and gently stretch your chest. Then continue with your day. That simple mindset keeps the focus where it belongs. Comfortable movement, gradual improvement, and consistency, rather than trying to force your body into a perfect posture. Point 3. Now let's get into the stretch itself. A simple doorway chest stretch can be a practical place to start. Stand beside a stable doorway and place one forearm against the door frame with your elbow bent comfortably. Keep your shoulder relaxed rather than shrugging it towards your ear. From there, slowly turn your body away from the arm. You should begin to feel a gentle stretch across the front of your chest and possibly around the front of your shoulder. That's enough. You don't need to rotate your body as far as possible. You don't need to force your arm farther behind you, and you don't need to create a strong or painful sensation. The goal is simply to introduce gentle movement to an area that may have been held in a relatively fixed position. During your drive, keep your breathing normal as you hold the position. If the stretch feels too strong, reduce the movement and find a more comfortable position. Then repeat the same process on the other side. Point 4. The technique matters more than trying to stretch as deeply as possible. After sitting for a long time, it can be tempting to think that a stronger stretch will give you a better result. But stretching should not be a competition. Move slowly into the position until you feel mild tension. You should not feel sharp pain, burning numbness, or an uncomfortable pulling sensation that makes you want to escape the position. Keep your neck relaxed, don't shrug your shoulder. Don't aggressively arch your lower back to make your chest appear more open, and don't bounce in and out of the stretch. Instead, breathe normally and allow the front of your chest and shoulder to gradually relax into the movement. You can start with a short, comfortable hold and repeat it on both sides. As your body becomes more familiar with the movement, you can gradually work within your comfortable range. The goal isn't to force your shoulders into a new position immediately. The goal is to develop comfortable mobility that you can maintain consistently. Point 5. One of the simplest ways to use this stretch is after a long drive. Once you've safely parked and you're no longer responsible for controlling the vehicle, get out and move around, walk for a little while. Relax your shoulders and then perform the stretch. This gives your body a chance to transition from prolonged sitting. Point 6. You don't need to stretch aggressively every time. A gentle stretch performed consistently can be more practical than pushing yourself too hard and becoming uncomfortable. Start with a range of motion that feels manageable. Your flexibility does not need to match anyone else's. Point 7. Pay attention to your breathing. Don't hold your breath while stretching. Take slow, comfortable breaths and allow your shoulders to remain relaxed. If you find yourself tensing your neck or holding your breath, reduce the intensity and return to a more comfortable position. Point 8. Remember to stretch both sides. One shoulder may feel tighter than the other, and that's not unusual. Don't force the tighter side to immediately match the more flexible side. Work gradually and comfortably on both sides. Point 9. The stretch is only one part of the routine. If you spend hours sitting after your drive, try to include regular movement throughout the day. Stand when practical, walk around. Change positions and give your upper body opportunities to move. Point 10, and don't forget about strength. Stretching focuses mainly on flexibility, while strengthening can help your muscles handle everyday movements. Depending on your ability and health, appropriate upper, back and shoulder strengthening exercises can complement a stretching routine. Point 11, you also don't need perfect posture all day. Your shoulders are supposed to move. The goal is comfortable movement, not holding them permanently backward. Point 12, if you feel pain rather than a mild stretch, stop. Sharp pain, numbness, weakness, or significant discomfort shouldn't be ignored or pushed through. Point 13, and remember that one stretch cannot address every possible cause of rounded shoulders. Use it as one simple part of a broader movement routine. Point 14, now think about how this can fit into your normal day. You don't have to wait for a special workout session. If you regularly take long drives, use the end of the journey as your reminder. After you've safely parked, get out of the vehicle and take a short walk. Let your arms move naturally. Relax your shoulders, take a few comfortable breaths. Then find a stable doorway and perform the chest stretch on one side. Hold it gently without bouncing or forcing the movement. Then switch sides. You can keep the stretch brief at first, and gradually build your routine as it becomes more comfortable. The important thing is that you're not trying to undo hours of sitting with one aggressive movement. You're simply breaking up the period of inactivity and giving your body some controlled movement, and the same idea can be used throughout the rest of your day. If you've been watching television for a long time, get up and move if you've been sitting at a computer. Change position if you've been reading. Give your shoulders and upper body a chance to move. These small habits can complement your stretching routine and make your overall approach much more practical. Point 15. The biggest takeaway is simple. If your shoulders look or feel more rounded after a long drive, don't immediately assume that you've developed a permanent posture problem. Your body has simply spent a long time in one position, and stiffness can become more noticeable when you finally stand up. Instead of forcing your shoulders backward, give them movement, walk, relax, breathe gently, open the chest. Then continue with your day. The doorway chest stretch can be a useful way to work on flexibility, but it isn't a magic cure, and it won't address every possible reason someone has rounded shoulders. For some people, strength training, general physical activity, changes in daily habits, or professional guidance may also be appropriate. What matters is taking a realistic approach. You don't need to chase perfect posture. You don't need to stretch through pain, and you don't need an extremely complicated routine. Start with gentle movement. Practice consistently and pay attention to how your body responds. If you develop persistent pain, numbness, weakness, or a significant change in shoulder function, don't try to solve it by stretching harder. Speak with a qualified healthcare professional so the underlying cause can be properly assessed. But if what you're dealing with is simply stiffness after spending too much time sitting, this simple routine can give you a practical place to start. One long drive doesn't have to end with you staying stiff for the rest of the day. Get up, move your shoulders. Gently open your chest and keep your body move.